Okay. Hello, everybody. I'm Mason Glod. I'm here with Patrick Ritter,
What's up,
and
guys?
we're here at home because of quarantine, and this is this content from Raider News today. How's quarantine going, Patrick?
It's treating me pretty well. I have a lot of time to do stuff that I didn't have time to do before. Working on some stuff, sleeping a lot, eating not as healthy, but I'm a teenager. Who cares?
Yeah, no, I've been really bored. I mean, staying busy,
Yeah.
doing stuff with my brother, stuff like that.
The
Actually,
homework, yeah.
yeah,
The homework load is it's really imbalanced.
but it's enough that it keeps me busy. Like last weekend, I was so bored because I didn't have any work to do, and it's not like I'm asking for work, but it keeps me busy, so I don't really care.
And we're out till April 20th now, I think.
Yeah, that letter from Dr. Mass. I don't know. I think we'll be back eventually. I'm just like,
Yeah,
it's
because
it's so weird.
they got that new drug that apparently is like 100% success rate so far. Could be a game
Yeah,
changer.
I heard about that. Isn't it they used it for another disease or
Yeah,
something?
it's malaria.
Yeah, malaria.
Not fish tank cleaner.
Yeah,
Don't be,
that, that was crazy.
please don't be mistaken for fish tank cleaner.
No, I've been watching the news. I've been watching Governor Murphy every day because it's just interesting. But
He's
yeah,
he's handling he's handling all this pretty well. I feel like.
yeah, Murphy and Cuomo, they're
Yeah,
doing well. So we'll see.
we'll
All
see
right,
what happens.
why are we here today, Patrick?
So Mason and I have a lot of classes together, and we end up talking about music a lot, but we have very different music tastes. It feels like
Yeah, I would agree. How would you summarize your music taste?
my music taste. I mean, it's so it's so broad, but I don't listen to a lot of modern stuff. I like a lot of old stuff that's not recorded digitally, all recorded on tape. A lot of guitar, a
Mhm.
lot of instruments. That's my kind of music.
Yeah, it's so funny. I'm the opposite, basically. I mean, I like the old stuff too, but I mainly listen to modern stuff. I'm kind of all over the place, but I like indie stuff, nothing too mainstream. But yeah, I listen to a lot of music, so this should be fun. So yeah, so we decided that we're going to introduce each other to some of our favorite songs. Uh, this should be interesting. I'm kind of excited.
Yeah.
Um, so yesterday, the day before, Patrick and I, we sent each other three of our favorite songs, and today we're going to review them to each other. We're gonna try and be nice because we both like these songs, but it'll be fun because they're very different. So, uh, what was the first song you sent to me?
Okay, so the first song I sent to Mason was Heartbreaker by Led Zeppelin, one of my all-time favorites. Jimmy Page, the guitar player for the band, is one of my all-time music inspirations. I try to imitate him as much as possible. He's basically basically one of my idols, and this song is great because I think it I think it really exemplifies the kind of music that the band does, which is rock infused with blues almost. I think that a lot of his stuff is really rooted in blues music, and that combined with the distorted guitar and heavy drums and bass and the screaming vocals in there, it all comes together really nice. And obviously there's that about 2 minute long guitar solo in the middle that is just so fun to listen to. It's really great, and that was all improvised in the studio by Page. He
Oh, that's cool.
he just pulled that out of his butt and played it, and there was no planning. He didn't write it or anything. It was just that was just all improvised.
Okay. Well, um,
So what did you think of it?
well, first I want to say that because I was at the dinner table the other night and talking to my dad, and I told him the three songs you sent me, and he's like a big fan of all of them. So he was like, "Oh yeah, I love that song," and I was like, "Okay." So I was like, "Okay, cool." So anyway, so I listened to it, and it was good. Like obviously you're a guitar player, so you definitely like that song because
Yeah,
the guitar is insane. So I like the drums. I like a good beat. So the drums were really good. And they were like strong. So that was cool. And I thought that, what do you call like a guitar like melody? Like,
Melody,
or is that
riff.
okay? Yeah. So like the main like riff or whatever was like catchy. So I like that. I thought the coolest part of the song was I was listening with headphones and it like bounce around your ears.
Yeah.
That was sick. Like I'm assuming they do that on purpose, right?
Yeah, they do that on a lot of bands from the 70s did that on purpose. Like a lot of times you hear the guitar will all be coming out of one ear and the reverb, so the echo will be coming out of the other ear. So it's like you're hearing it all from one side in a big empty room, which is really cool. And when you record stereo, you have that option to make it go have different stuff in each ear. That's why you need to listen to it. That's why with a lot of that stuff, you need to listen to it on the right way. You can't listen to it on your phone speakers. You got to have headphones or a stereo speaker or something to get the full experience.
Yeah. So the guitar solo was great. Like, yeah, it was really good. And I liked how like at the beginning everything else went silent and it was like a complete change in the song. Thought that was cool. And then the ending was my favorite part. I like when they like kept repeating the Heartbreaker. That was cool.
Mm-hmm.
So my things I didn't like as well, whatever. You know, the other things was I'm a lyric centered person, and like you couldn't really make out the lyrics that well.
Yeah.
And, like I googled the lyrics for all the songs, and this one was like very scandalous. I was like, oh, okay, but like you know, that's just kind of what the music was in that time. And then the only other thing I would say is, you know, the solo was really good. And I know people will be mad at me for this, but I just like, it was so long. I was like, okay, yeah, like I got it. But like, it was good. So I'm not going to complain. So yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I wouldn't call Led Zeppelin a lyrical band. It's mostly, I mean, you mostly listen to it not for his lyrics but for his voice. Robert Plant, the singer, no, they're not a lyrical band by any means, I wouldn't say, but it's mostly musical. And going back to what you said about the drums, John Bonham, one of the most legendary drummers of all time for that band, he what they did for him was he used a bass drum that was amplified super loud, which really gives it that drive that you were talking about. So I definitely know what you mean with a lot of that stuff.
Yeah. But it was like I get it. Like it was a good rock song.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm gonna go out of order if you care.
Yeah, I don't care. It's fine.
All right. So the first song we're gonna talk about is "Best Friend" by Rex Orange County. So Rex Orange County is kind of a newer band. They're becoming more popular. I would say out of the 3 songs I sent you, this one's the most mainstream. Like I feel like a lot of people our age would know this one. It's fairly recent, probably the last like 3 years. It's probably the band's biggest song. And I just like this song because you gotta put it on with your friends. I think it's really like catchy. It has some interesting kind of twists and turns in it. And yeah. So what'd you think?
So this was
it's very different, and obviously all my songs are very different, but yeah.
I mean, you know, it's not that I dislike this kind of music, but you know, I just don't listen to it as much. But this one was easily my favorite out of all of them that you sent me, because it incorporates all the real instruments, the real physical instruments. Like a band could definitely play this. It's not as electronic, you know. You hear the guitar strumming, you hear the drums. The drums are very good. What I like is how there are 2 guitars, rhythm and lead. You don't see rhythm and lead anything hardly anymore. It's mostly just one melody with a bass line, which I'm not that much of a fan of. But this one had multiple instruments all layering on top of each other. I really liked I think it was like not the first chorus, but toward the end when the chorus had the really deep bass voice. I thought that was really cool. The low voice. And the percussion was cool. You hear so many different things going on toward the middle of the song, which is really cool. And then I think the best part is at the end when the horns come in.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna.
It hits so heavy at the end. I think that's easily my favorite part of the song.
That's what I was gonna say. Like that one part when it's like everything builds up and it's so big. It's just like, let's do this.
Yeah, you really want to jam out.
Yeah, I think that's just a fun song. I think the lyrics are they're fun. Like, I mean, relatable. Like, guess if you're in that situation. But yeah, that's just like a fun one. So
yeah.
Okay, what was your next one?
So my next one that I sent him was Voodoo Child by Jimi Hendrix. Jimi Hendrix along with Jimmy Page are two of my biggest musical inspirations. This song is similar to Led Zeppelin. A lot of his playing was rooted in blues, and that combined with the effect he uses on his guitar is called fuzz, which is a very loud and kind of stiff version of the electric guitar sound that a lot of you are probably used to. And I really like this one just because of the psychedelic lyrics that he wrote, and combined with the really kind of shredding guitar that he really popularized. Because you listen to a lot of his stuff, he's actually very versatile, but one of the things he's mainly known for is the really fast playing and the fuzz on the guitar. And the song also has, like you said, with the alternating from ear to ear, the automation is called in music production, which is really cool to listen to.
Yeah, so I like this one. I like this one more than the last one. I thought the start, like the very beginning, was really cool because of like the guitar, and then when the beat came in, like that was sick. I like the drums a lot. Yeah, I liked how it bounced around my ears a lot. That was cool. I think that's something that like is better suited for like rock music and bands like that can have a bigger effect than modern music. I really liked in this one how the lyrics were like easier to hear. Like I felt like in the last song, the lyrics, not that they were an afterthought, but it was kind of like the music was going and then like the lyrics were on top of it. And then this one, like the lyrics are much more like a part of the song. Like the music, I wrote that the music lets the lyrics into the song. It's like the music would like get quieter, like calm down, and the lyrics would go, and it just flowed better for me. So yeah, I like this one a lot. My only thing again was that the guitar parts were like 5 seconds too long at some points. I was like, yeah, okay, like let's get back to the main part, but like it's very impressive. So yeah, it was good. I like this one.
Yeah. All right, so what was the next one you sent me?
Okay, next one I'm going to talk about is Why Did You Run by Judah and the Lion. So Judah and the Lions, they're actually kind of a rock band, believe it or not. You wouldn't know it from this song, but they're very like alternative. I would say they're big, but they're like indie, so like kind of like on the outskirts of everything. I love this song. It's kind of like the chorus has a little more electric elements to it, but I think it's just such a good song. You can like jam out to it. I introduced my friends to this one, and we all like it. And I think the lyrics are cool. I don't know. This is just a fun song. I listen to it all the time, but I'm interested to see what you have to say.
I really like this one. It was there were a lot of effects on the singer's vocal, stuff like reverb or echo, and there was a lot of layered, so you can tell that he recorded it twice and they put it on top of each other, which makes it louder, which normally I'm not a fan of. But for this one, I think the beat was so simple that it kind of complemented it. It allowed more room for the vocal. I think that's kind of the opposite of my music, where it's mostly instrumental. This one was clearly focused on vocals, and you can tell that from when you listen to it. And like I said, there was a lot of layering going on, and I think that makes up for the fact that there weren't a whole lot of instrumentals. Mm-hmm. But I really like this one, and the really heavy bass and snare during the the chorus. It makes you wanna nod your head when you listen to it. And I think that's any song that has that factor, I think makes it a good song.
Yeah, and if you don't remember, it's fine. But there's in the chorus, there's like this owl sound. I don't even know how to describe it. It's like someone like hooing
Yeah.
like an owl. And I don't
Yeah.
know. That's cool.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it's a cool sound. And yeah, also the album cover for this song is great, and that makes me like the song more. I don't know why.
Mhm.
So yeah, that's a cool one.
Yeah. And I think that's why I'm surprised that a lot of the music has such the simple beats. Like they included the owl song because they have the track for that. But if you see on modern recording software, you can have as many tracks as you want. You can layer it as much as you want. And that's why I'm
Yeah.
surprised a lot. That's why I'm surprised a lot of producers don't really utilize that, because back in the day, and when you had the recording on a tape, there was such a limited number of stuff you could use. That's why they almost lost Bohemian Rhapsody, because they were layering it so much and they almost ran out of tape to record the rest of it. And you can imagine what that song could have been if it was recorded on modern day software.
It's insane.
Yeah.
All right. What was your last song?
The last song I sent him was "I'm the One" by Van Halen. Eddie Van Halen is one of the greatest guitar players of all time. Even if you don't listen to this music, you've probably heard his name. And this is another one of those songs where they utilize the stereo component. All the guitar is coming out of, I think, your left ear, and the reverb is hitting your right ear, which makes it sound like he's playing at you from the left, and you're basically standing in the middle of the band playing, which is it's a very cool thing. And the drums in this, I think this song is different from the other two because it's not really as bluesy. It's more what you call shred. The guitar is cranked up way more. There's so much distortion and effects on it, and he just kind of goes off. He doesn't really play to any scale or anything. He just kind of does what sounds good because it's so fast and heavy that you can hardly really tell.
Yeah, I really like this one. This is my favorite one. The guitar at the beginning is just like crazy. Such a crazy way to start the song. Very impressive, obviously. When the drums came in, the beat was good. Like I was like bobbing my head, like I was into it. I really like the background vocals in this one. Yeah. The other two I don't think had I don't think they had background vocals. And I like that in a song. I think that adds like more like grandiose to a song, like makes it feel bigger.
Yeah, that's what Van Halen did that a lot. With Eddie the guitarist and Michael Anthony the bass player, they would sing his backup vocals, and their voices are they're really recognizable when you listen to any song by them, and there's background vocals. The two of them singing together they really complement the song really well.
Yeah. I thought it was a girl singing for a while because it was so high, but yeah, so that was cool. I liked the lyrics in this one a lot. Thought it was all good, and then at the end it got like wild and crazy, and that was cool. So I like this one. This is like overall good.
Yeah, Van Halen always had the most amazing outros. Like they would play for like 30 seconds after the song, and just to finish it out super well. And my favorite part is when it stops and all four of them are just singing.
Yeah,
it's just a hi-hat. It's kind of a throwback element in there.
Yeah, I wrote that down too. Yeah, that was cool. Okay, so the last song I sent is called "Conversations with My Wife" by Jon Bellion. So Jon Bellion's he's my favorite artist of all time. He's very indie. He's from New York, very experimental. This song is very experimental. It's very nothing really else like it is out there. It is one of my favorite songs, but that being said, it's very different. So I understand that many people do not like it. I'm sure it was one, you said it wasn't your favorite out of these, obviously, but I think the lyrics are really cool in this song. I think the sound is really cool, and I think it's just like cool.
Yeah.
But if you didn't think so, it's okay. I'm very curious.
This one, I didn't necessarily dislike it, but I wasn't as impressed with this one as I was the other ones, just because I make music and I know what goes into it. This one, I thought it was very minimalist, which isn't a bad thing, but I feel like he could have done way more with it. I think he could have put more effects on his vocal, not things like auto tune. I'm talking things like reverb or just kind of splashiness elements to it. He has a very nice voice. I thought the lyrics really hit home. You can relate to this stuff. And what I liked was the synth bass, not a bass guitar, because I think the synth bass, because there's not a whole lot of instruments going on, kind of lays down the foundation of the song. And I like what they did in the middle with the vocal synths, which basically sounds, it basically sounds like, I mean, you've definitely heard it before. It basically sounds like a bunch of kids singing, because that's the effect that a lot of producers use on the voice, which I've always been a fan of, and I thought it went with the song really well.
I did not think you would like that part, because that part's like crazy. Like,
a lot going on.
I think it's a very relatable song. Like, it's a song that could only be written like now, basically, which is cool. And it's a cool song.
Yeah.
Okay, so those are our picks. So I think we kind of know, but we should rank each other's songs.
Right.
So I'll go first.
Yeah, go first.
My favorite song was "I'm the One." Just really liked it. Thought it went very well. It was very catchy. I got into it. It was good. Voodoo Child, number 2. I liked the way it flowed. I thought the lyrics were easy to understand and liked it bouncing around my ears. And then Heartbreaker I put in 3rd because it was a little too much guitar for me, and the screaming lyrics were not totally my thing, but still impressive. I still liked it. So yeah. What about you?
For me, I would say Best Friend is number 1. I really like the instrumentals and the vocals, and it's just an overall, the structure of the song is just so good. And Why Did You Run, I think, would be after that. I like the production value of it and the vocals, the lyrics, all that good stuff. And Conversations with My Wife would be last. I don't dislike it. It's just I wasn't as impressed as I was with the other two by it. Still a good song, though.
Okay. All right, cool. So that was this. Maybe we'll do this again.
Maybe we will.
It's a good time. We got plenty of time, stuck in quarantine, so why not?
Yeah.
And hope everyone's doing okay.
Yeah, stay safe out there.
Yeah. Hopefully we'll be back. Yeah, stay home. Hopefully we'll be back in school soon.
Hopefully, yeah.
All right.
Finish out senior year.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Senior year. All right.
All right.
See ya.
See ya.